Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.
Hi, it's John Oast from Fishyaker.com. Today I'm going to show you a really quick, easy way to replace a broken guide on one of your fishing rods. What I have here is a spinning Temple Fork Outfitters Gary Loomis rod. And what I had up on the front here, I actually had a guide that bent over too far and actually broke off. So I'm just going to do a quick replacement on that. So all you really need is razor blade, replacement guide, a little bit of super glue, especially if you have any fly tying equipment, some thread, preferably the color of your rod. It's a little bit of, again, a little bit of, if you have some fly tying tools, it makes it a little bit easier to wrap it. Some scissors for cutting that, and some epoxy. What I actually did here, I've already done it, but what I had done, I'd actually bent over one of my guides so far, like I said, and it snapped at the base. So what I did was actually take a razor blade and worked it along the edge, the shaft of the rod, and actually cut off the base part of the guide and the original threading on it. And as you see here, it's just clean. I took a little bit of light sandpaper, sanded it down, smoothed it down, so you really can't even tell it used to be on there. From there, that's when I basically have it prepped and ready to go to put that new guide on. So let's take a look at what I do. Since I already have my broken guide cut off, first thing I'm going to do is take my replacement guide, and I'm just going to use a little tiny dab of super glue just to get it aligned on here. That's all I'm doing. Not actually using that to really hold it on forcefully. So you want to take it, a little bit of glue of some sort, some way to attach it in that original location, just so, like here, it holds it in place so you can wrap it. So just simply hold it on place and let that dry for a second. Now that I have that guide attached to the shaft of the paddle, at least temporarily, with a little tiny dab of glue, I've got my thread, and I'm simply going to roll it, roll it around on that shaft, and simply use that thread, a little bit of strength to it, a little bit of tension to it, and basically retie that guide right back on to the shaft of the rod. Going to work that until you get a good little layer of thread material around it. When we're done with this, we're just going to take a little bit of epoxy and coat it. And then it's once it's dried, it's ready to go. So simply you're tying it right back to the shaft, the guide right back to the shaft, and then you're going to tie it off when you get it nice and threaded around. Okay, now so I've had my my guide wrapped. I've opened up my 2-part 5-minute epoxy. Only costs a couple of dollars at your local hardware store or department store. Mixing it up a little bit, using the package to keep it from getting on everything else. And I usually use a nail or something like that, but I kind of have to use a steady hand when I'm applying it. You don't have to use very much, and just kind of work it into that threading. Try to get a smooth layer on it. Overlap the thread onto the shaft. Look at the way the other guides are actually attached, and try to just match it up to the best of your ability. Just work that epoxy in there, and before you know it, it'll start drying on you. So just make sure you get a good little layer on it before it hardens on you. When you're all done, if you've had your epoxy set up on you, if you've taken your time, try to match the color of the thread up with the shaft, and just try to look at how the patterns you want to use to have it match the shaft area above and below. When you're done, if you took your time and put a little bit of effort into it, you probably won't even notice a difference between those and the other guide. So try it out at home. Might save your rod, otherwise you might just throw in the trash or pass on to somebody else. Thanks for watching Fishyaker.com, and like always, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. See you on the water.